Welcome to the game room.
Okay, so we're going to do Denise, and she's got her hair, skin, the phone, her jacket and skirt, undershirt, her socks, and her shoes. And these are the major pieces we'll need to have colors for. So we're gonna start with her shoes. I'm using a pink. It's so old, which pink it is has rubbed off. You can use any pink you want. I'm using the medium just to help thin it down. You can thin it down with water as well. And we're going to cover her shoes. Sorry, she kind of got off screen. She was the last one I did on the first night of painting these models. And I kept getting her off screen. I do apologize. But I will show you what she looks like as we go through. Okay, now for her skin. Again, we're going to start with Barbarian Flesh. You'll see a pattern in these videos. Um, Either tan flesh to Barbarian or Barbarian to Basic. Barbarian, since she's going to have a much lighter, brighter skin tone, we'll start with Barbarian and then we'll highlight it with the basic skin tone. And of course, we'll use the flesh wash to bring it all back together. So now that the Barbarian flesh is done, we're going to use the basic skin tone. And we're going to hit the high areas. And it's going to be very bright, but then we're going to mix the Barbarian flesh and go back over it. We're going to mix it in with the Barbarian flesh and the basic, and we're going to go back over those, and that it just gives it an underlying highlight for that, just to help brighten up that mixture we're about to put over it. Again, we go for tabletop quality here, guys. This is not going to win you any awards. It's so that you can get on the table and start playing with painted models, because painted models play better. Or so I'm told. I think they do. Anyway, you can see where the skin, the bright, or the basic skin tone, the bright areas, just mixing in that, darkening up some of that basic skin, the really bright flesh tone, and just going over those, and you can see it blends in much better. Looks pretty good. We'll hit it with the flesh tone here in a little bit. Okay, so demonic yellow, we're going to mix that with contrast medium just to thin it down and make it flow a little easier. And this is going to be her first skirt and her jacket. With the yellows, generally you're going to need 2 coats, so thin your paint down, let the first coat dry, and then do a second coat if you want it brighter. Duncan always teaches us 2 thin coats. All right, Griff Charger Gray, again thinned down with some contrast medium. This is just going to be for her shirt that's underneath that jacket, just to kind of offset the color a little bit. Probably about a 1-to-1, maybe a 1-to-2 Griff Charger blue to the medium. Just whatever you think. You may not even want to thin it down. I did because I wanted the Griff Charger a little bit lighter. Okay, we're going to do her hair with Ayenden yellow contrast. Again, the contrast paints, I like them for hair especially, or like fur, things like that, because it sits down on those recesses, and you can really see the tones, the difference, the highlights, all done in one step. I do apologize for the shaky cam. It's kind of right where I'm looking to paint. I'll figure out a better way to do this in the future. But as you can see, as it goes on, you can already see the highlighting. It sits down in the recesses, making underneath darker. The hair on the top is a little bit lighter. It looks like it's already got the highlights and everything into it. You get the same effect if you're to paint it one color and then do a heavy dry brush over it. You can get the same effect doing it with standard paints. Let's paint her socks. We're going to do white and contrast medium, thin down, probably about 1-to-1. It's just to thin the white down. My white can be a little gloopy sometimes, so if you don't need it, don't use it. But we're just going to paint her socks down to her shoes. Okay, another contrast paint here. Apothecary white to go over her socks, really. The Apothecary white is kind of a grayish color, but it's very opaque. It lets the undercolor come through, and it's really good on top of white and lighter colors to give them that shade. I really like it because I've always had a problem with white and shading it. You got to do like multiple layers and different colors, and this really does a good job of just, in one coat, it'll tone that white down, give it the shading that I'm after. Black Templar for the phone. Most phones are black, and it was easy to do. Again, sorry about the shakiness on the camera. I bumped it. But yeah, just use the contrast shade on the phone and get it all the way around. You'll be good to go. All right, let's go ahead and finish off that skin with our flesh wash. Again, as heavy as you want, depending on how dark you want it to go. But you'll see that when we did the different colors earlier, the barbarian flesh and then the basic skin tone and then the mixture, that those areas have dried that's really bright. This will tie those two colors together, and it does a really good job with that. So I highly recommend the flesh tone. Or if you don't have the flesh tone, if you have the art appearance like the soft tone, that works, but it's not quite the same. Flesh tone I use a lot, so. All right, and here she is, all done and based. Again, Denise, she actually took a little longer than some of the others, but she was really fun to paint, very simple. Again, tabletop quality. You're gonna look at this from 3 feet or more away. It'll look good, and it kind of fits in with that that out in the wilderness theme. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. Please like, subscribe. Hope this helped and show you just how much fun these are. Have a great day.